Nothing like waiting to the last minute, huh? At least it's not the night before we have to load the car. At least we have a little bit of time. All right, back out in the shop again today. Plan for today is Utah 4th of July prep. We have to get this issue remedied. We have to get heat shielding on the fuel tank because it's going to be hot when we're up there. Like 108 degrees hot, just this side of the sun, I think. Other than that, I think this guy pretty much ready to go. So we're gonna knock those things out this evening. Oh no, we got one more thing. We have to get a bracket built for the return spring on the brake. Did have a little problem with that thing coming all the way back to the top and not scavenging quite as well as it should. So we're gonna get that triangle piece or so stuck in there, washer with a back edge cut off, something not very fancy just to get that return spring on. But I think other than that, that is going to be what is done for this trip. Take you along. All right. Show you what we got going on here. Phil at Central Coast CNC built us some links. They're a whole lot nicer looking than those butchered up ones we had. Where are they at? It's over here. Than this ugly old thing that we built out of scrap metal that we had laying around. So this should get us in the right spot or close enough with our shifter so that we can stop that binding issue. We'll get this back in real quick and move on to tabs. I forgot to bring tools. A pair of pliers because it's too far over the edge. Got the thinking tongue out.
How do you like it?
I think it feels good. It's nice and crisp. It's a little farther ahead than the rear, but based on our needs for geometry, that's kind of what we have to have. Right there is where we want to be. At least for this trip, we're sticking to that. So we'll put the shifter cowl back on it and fasteners back in it, and that should be good. One less problem to deal with on that side of things. Look at that. Even fits in there nicely. That piece is done. You get something built for up there. I'd like to do something just simple. I even thought about just taking a washer and cutting a washer off and welding a washer right to that bar. Because if you look, all we really need thought I found something with a hole in it that could work. I got squirreled there for a minute. All we really need is this to have a spot to attach to. So right now we have it zip tied to the eye of another spring so that it helps it return. This almost needs a little bit more.
More sauce on the spring?
Yeah. I also thought about putting just a piece of plate across the top of this to help it stop flexing, because out here we're supported really good, but there's nothing across here. So a little piece of bar stock, might be able to just tack it in, pull this back, take the bend out of this, and then put that piece of bar stock on it and make it good enough. That spring in there was just enough to make it bind, so we might drill a hole in this bracket here, because that doesn't have anything to actually hold it. It's just hooked on the bolt. Nothing like waiting to the last minute, huh? At least it's not the night before we have to load the car. At least we have a little bit of time.
Or when you're already there.
Yeah, we've done that once or twice already too. Found you. Tried to get away. I saw it. Not pretty straight on.
Yeah, not bad. It could go your way a little bit. It's fine.
Surprised to see that stuff be all galvanized. Advanced adapters used galvanized as a...
Oh, there's shift linkage?
Yeah. Why do we use galvanized? I can in essence. All right, so we'll make this bracket, we'll tack it in here, and then I think that if we put this across here and then pull this bracket up to it, that it'll have enough rigidity in this piece and this piece to stop it from flexing. At least that's my theory. Is it a good theory? Time shall tell. Should be able to take this and take this bend out of it right here. That should get rid of this flexy business we got going on right now.
You pulled it some, enough.
Till it shoots off there and it smacks me in the mouth. Now let's tack the sides in and we'll see what happens. Eyeballs. Like that. It's got a hole in the middle of it so you can stick your nozzle through it. Eyeballs.
Tap it underneath.
Looks decently straight now.
Push on it, see what it does.
It ain't bending. It moves the whole.
The master cylinder flexes a little bit when it finally comes up tight. The thread in the ring.
But it's not flexing that plate anymore?
No.
You'll have a little better brakes.
Okay, now we'll make it a little bit pretty because it was uglier than a mud fence before. That one bubbled up a little bit.
Arts and crafts with Tom. With Toms. Plural Toms.
Today we play the arts and the crafts. A little snippy snip here and a little snippy snip there. Here snip, there snip, everywhere snip snip. Shielding of the heatage.
What are you gonna try not to do with that one?
Try not to catch it on fire. Fire bad, buggy good, fire bad. So the problem is that the radiator is blowing hot air from the heat exchange out and it's getting on the aluminum fuel tank. Well, the aluminum's so good at conducting heat, it conducts it right into the gasoline in the tank. And we noticed on our way down off the mountain the last time, I could hear the fuel pump was a little bit loud. So I was like, yeah, that's weird. We must be getting low on fuel. Well, we haven't driven it much, just back and forth up the hill. And
It's dark in there. Strike me at you so we can see.
it has half tank fuel, over half tank fuel. So it's obviously not that it was low on fuel that it was howling. And the only other thing that could really cause that is that the fuel was hot and the fuel pump was actually working extra hard. So what we'll do is take a piece of this heat batting that we have, heat shield. I think if it just has the layer to keep it from sinking the heat right straight into it, it's fine. And then I think I'm gonna build a rack, maybe an aluminum rack that goes over the top of this. It's cut out here so it doesn't interfere with your fuel cap and has some places on it. We need some place to put a tool bag. We don't have a great place to put a tool bag anywhere on here. And it seems to be catching up with us that we definitely need tools. Okay, so four-wheel drive shifters are back in and good. Found a leak we didn't know we had in a hose. That's fixed. Return spring on the brake, so that comes back to the top and scavenges correctly. Hood's back on it. Seat's back in it. Heat shield improvised on the fuel tank. See if that helps. I think we're ready. Hey, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.